listen, you must fall in love with the Lord. Okay? That is a must. You must fall in love with the Lord. You know, it's been the practice of people in churches for a long time. Before our day, before Martin Luther's day, before everybody's day, the question has been for a very, very long time, what must I do to go to heaven? You know, what must I do to have eternal life? You know, that's the big question. And I understand that question. I think we've all asked that question, and it's common for us to think about it. But that question does not lead to righteousness. That question does not lead to fulfillment in the Christian walk. The question that must be asked instead is, what must I do to please God? Okay. You know, the first question, what must I do to go to heaven? Or what must I do to gain eternal life? To be in the kingdom? That question is self-centered. Because the goal is for you to be taken care of. The goal when you're asking, what must I do to go to heaven, has to do with your comfort, right? And your fulfillment. But the second question, what must I... And that, by the way, that first question always leads to the law. To understanding the law and trying to be saved by understanding the law. The second question, what must I do to please God, is God-focused. My concern is not with myself, and not with what I'll get out of it, but my concern is I love God, and what must I do to please Him? Okay. You know, the question of illegal immigration is a big question in our country today. And it seems like most people's problem, or the ire that they have with the idea of illegal immigration, is we don't like the idea of having all these people benefit from all that America has to offer without becoming Americans, right? You know, we don't want people. We're happy to have people take advantage of all the bounty and benefit of the United States, but we want them to become citizens. We want them to pitch in and to help pay for with their money and their talents and their gifts everything that we've built. And for that reason, a lot of people in our country today are against amnesty. I don't know how you feel about that issue, but I can say the same thing happens in the church. You have a lot of people who come into the church, and they want all the benefits of the church. They want, you know, everything all the good feelings that are produced by studying the promises of God, and they want the benefit that comes from somebody who will hold your hand when you go through a difficult time in the hospital or at a graveside. They want the benefit of people who will support you when you're down on your luck. They want the benefit of beautiful music and sound preaching and comfortable buildings and all the rest. But they have no interest, okay, in becoming citizens of this kingdom, of pitching in, of becoming a part where they're investing their lives and energies and talents and gifts into that very thing. And the church should begin to say, we don't want amnesty in the church either. Okay? The church is not interested in accruing and amassing for itself double-minded, half-hearted people. The church needs people who are wholehearted and single-minded, because there's no fellowship otherwise. But that wholeheartedness, that single-mindedness, does not come when people all are seeking their own selves. When your self-centered approach is, what must I do to go to heaven, the church becomes populated with people who have their own ends in mind when they come in here. But if the common denominator is, what must I do to please God, then we do gain fellowship, right? It's kind of a small point. But I want you to understand, the fruits of the Spirit are not a luxury in the Christian life. A lot of people think of it that way. You know, a lot of people go around saying, you know, I know I don't live as I ought to. I know I'm not very smart. I know I don't understand the Bible. You know, I know I don't really love the Lord, but that's not all that really matters. You know, to them, it's not very important to be wise. It's not very important to love the Lord. It's not very important to be using your gifts as you ought. What's important to you is that you have eternal life. Well, you know, I say wrong to that question. Okay, it is important that you live as you ought. It is important that you're wise. It is important that you're looking to have a intimate and abiding and loving relationship with the Lord. And the reason for that is that look at the danger that is present. Look with all that you're trying to live through and overcome in your life, and you're trying to do it without the benefit of wisdom, without the benefit of a relationship with the Lord, so on and so forth. I really believe I could make $10 million. I really believe that. Do you guys believe that I can do that? I think I have the energy, the mental capacity, the ingenuity. I think I could make $10 million. But why won't I? Or why haven't I? Because I haven't had the desire to do it, right? It takes a lot of effort, a lot of work to make $10 million. And so I don't have it because of that. In the same way, I also believe that I can be righteous. I believe that I can be holy. Do you believe that? About yourself? Of course you do. But why aren't you holy? Why aren't you righteous? Because you don't have a desire for it. Okay? It's that simple. Because I promise you, the Bible makes it clear that you can be righteous, you can be holy. What's missing is that desire. And I think one of the reasons why there's no desire in the church is that we view it poorly because we think it's a luxury when it's not. So let me just highlight some of those things which I don't think are luxuries when you look at this story with Job and Satan. The first one is righteousness. Righteousness is not a luxury when your life is a testimony. Look at verses 6 to 8 again. It says, now, again, we don't all understand what's going on in this passage because I don't understand the workings and the calendar and the agenda of heaven. But the author was given some kind of insight into it. But verse 6 says, now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves